Damascus denounces that the blockade and sanctions imposed by the United States and the European Union are preventing medicines and humanitarian aid from reaching Syria following the devastating earthquake which struck last Monday, February 6. This is an altitude that is exacerbating this tragedy of the Syrian people who are struggling with all the means at their disposal to overcome the tragedy that the country is currently experiencing. From this country, our correspondent Hisham Wanus adds to the information.
The terrorist war imposed on Syria has led to the destruction of the infrastructure and the loss of more than 50,000 vehicles, which Syria now needs to cope with the disaster caused by the earthquake. This is what the Syrian Minister of Local Administration has said, claiming that Western sanctions are preventing the country from compensating for the lack of vehicle that would have made it possible to deal with the aftermath of the earthquake.
The priority now is to remove the debris to save lives, and we have managed to save a large number of citizens trapped under the rubble thanks to the efforts of all parties involved and the rapid response with the available capacities of both government institutions and civil society.
In defiance of these sanctions, which they describe as inhumane, many Arab and foreign countries sent civil protection teams and aid planes to Syria to help alleviate the suffering of the Syrian people. At the same time, there was an outpouring of social solidarity with the victims, with national campaigns to give blood for the wounded and collect donations for families who had lost their homes.
We help each other without expecting others to help us, and I really wish now that in addition to donating blood, I would be with my fellow Syrians in the affected areas to help rescue those trapped under the rubble. As much as we are offering help, we feel it is not enough.
In the midst of these difficult circumstances that we are going through, we demand the lifting of sanctions in order to facilitate the arrival of aid to our country to alleviate the suffering of our people as a result of the earthquake that has made our suffering even more acute.
We're suffering from an unjust blockade, and in these difficult conditions we have no choice but choosing social solidarity and try to offer as much help as we can, whether it is material help, financial help, or blood donations for the wounded, and everyone can offer what they can to help all the brothers in the disaster areas.
Meanwhile, national rescue teams are working against the clock to save the lives of those trapped under the debris, a huge task they are undertaking tirelessly with the help of volunteers, Syria's and Russia's troops, and rescuers from many countries around the world. The number of collapsed buildings now stands at 102 in the coastal province of Latakia and 54 in Aleppo. Entire neighborhoods have been evacuated for fear of collapse, as aftershocks from the region's strongest earthquake in decades continue.
Hisham Wanus, teleSUR, Damascus, Syria.